meeting. I guess it's a result of state and county action. They changed the position of or changed the conditions of our revaluation. And so they're going back to last year. And so that created a situation where we had to come back in and conform ours back to theirs. So I don't know what's going to happen next year, but that's where we are right now. So first off, I'd like to have a motion to excuse John Best.
I make a motion to excuse John Best.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Yes. If he comes, we'll.
Unexcused.
Okay, so public comments on items 3 and 4.
It's 10 o'clock and it's 2 o'clock. So, excuse me, I just got out of the shower. I want to call your attention on the budget, page 35 and 36. Also with the changes with the reappraisals, they also changed how we use accommodation tax. And so I'm concerned that I didn't see any changes on the BIS expenditures as far as accommodation tax goes, since it's supposed to be used for tourists only. Specifically calling out legal, staff development, dues and subscriptions, intergovernmental relations. I would argue that I'm not sure that's tourist activity. So I would want to caution you before you put in this new budget that you look at those items and make sure that they follow that new law as well. That's all I got.
Okay, thank you.
I'm a good job with my hair.
Any other? Okay, manager and Bonnie?
Well, I think you summed it up very well. Obviously, we are back here today because we did adopt a budget and a set tax rate based on the 2026 reevaluation numbers from Pender County. Since we did that on June 10th, Governor Josh signed Senate Bill 889, which actually put a moratorium or a freeze on any reevaluations for this year. So we now have to come back and rescind that tax rate and budget ordinance that was done on June 10th and adopt the new tax rate. And we, of course, changed the budget ordinance to the numbers, the current tax rate numbers for the tax rate set on the 2025 valuations. Tax rate that we're proposing is the exact same as last year's tax rate. So really no change. We're using the 2025 valuations and the same tax rate from last year. So no increase. And then I'll let Connie explain a little bit more or add anything to that you'd like to with the tax valuation number.
Okay, the current tax valuation number today, June 30th of 2026, is $767,912,033. Last year, our tax rate, or excuse me, tax evaluation was $764,938,165. We did receive some additional growth, added growth from Pender County for $2,973,868. That gave us an additional tax dollars for the 3 services for general fund, BIS, and CIP, $13,989.07. So the tax, the budget that you have in front of you represents that. It's represented at 98% collection. For the general fund, it will bring in $2,375,44.45. And for the BIS, the $1,091,203. And the capital improvements projects fund, the 24 fund, it will be $150,510.76. So that was additional $3,612,258. The only thing different in the budget that you have before you is in reference to the revenue. The revenue under the ad valorem was increased by $66,314.47. That brought your tax revenue for general fund from $2,304,229 to $2,375,44. We decreased The fund balance appropriated, in other words, we're not taking as much out of fund balance to offset that. And that's $599,358.93 was the requested last time. We decreased it by the $66,314.47, giving you a total now out of fund balance for general services, $533,044.46. We then went to the CIP fund, which is a 24 fund for capital improvement projects. The ad valorem tax was requested last time was $145,660.81. That was increased by $4,849.96, giving us $150,510.77. Again, we decreased the fund balance appropriated from $125,516.22 to $120,666.26. We then went to the BIS fund, the Beach Inlet and Sound Fund, 25 fund. The ad valorem tax at the last time requested was $1,059,914.81. That was increased by $31,288.21, giving us now for the BIS fund revenue ad valorem tax $1,091,203.02. We went back to the fund balance appropriated. Instead of taking $327,350.78 out, we're now taking $296,062.57 out. None of the expenditures were changed as requested last time, so that disbalances our budget out for the year of FY 26-27. The total for governing board, $6,036,7550. And we took out of the capital reserve fund, $401,652.08. Our water operations or utilities fund is $1,482,638.73. For BIS, Beach Inlet and Sound Fund is $3,297,072.59. And our capital improvement projects is $961,177.03. And our public safety building fund is $8,428,727.60. Total budget for all funds is $20,205,691.45. And includes your general fund, BIS, utility fund, capital improvements projects, and public safety building fund.
So that was a lot of numbers. And, but you know, the long and short of it is basically with the, a little bit of growth that we had from last year's 25 valuation numbers to this year. We were just able to, not pull as much out of fund balance as what was in the budget that we have set right now.
Connie, are you able to comment on Susan Cruz's thoughts just now?
And that's what I wanted to ask as well, because that's specifically Ward and Smith for lobbying for us, as well as the lobbying trip to New York to Washington's in that, isn't it?
Are we referring to the accommodations tax?
To the expenses in BIS, with the funds coming to BIS from accommodations tax.
We are still trying to get clarification on that. We have not gotten a full answer yet.
If we were to have to make some kind of change related to what Susan said, can we do that with a budget amendment after we pass this?
Yes, sir. You'd be able to do a budget amendment and it would have to come out of the fund balance at this time, unless we come up with some other different funding that would be available or something.
So we don't really need to deal with this today.
No, sir. In my opinion, you don't.
Okay, we need a motion or any other discussion from the board for the service. Any comments from those in attendance?
It's a lot of money.
Yeah.
There's up like,
Mayor, I'm prepared to make a motion First, we need to rescind the last tax vote, so I move to rescind the June 10, 2026 vote to set the tax rate for 26-27 at 22.65 per hundred, with 14.87 going to general fund, 6.84 cents to BIS, and 0.94 cents to capital improvement. Yeah, move to rescind that motion. That's our.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Have
Mayor, I move to set the tax rate for fiscal year 26-27 at 48 cents per hundred valuation, same as last year, with 0.315 to the general fund, 0.145 to BIS, and 0.02 to the capital improvement fund. And then adopt this fiscal year 26-27 budget ordinance.
we need the, ordinance and the tax rate in the same motion? Separate.
It's fine.
Fine, it's the same. Okay, I have a motion
Second.
and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
And
We ready to go to closed session?
yeah,
Do we need public comments about anything before we do that?
I asked for them before we took the vote. But if there's additional information someone needs or a question, please speak up.
And Mayor, I move that we go to a closed session for General Statute 143-318.11, page 6, to discuss a personnel matter.
Second.
Have a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Closed session.
You stay here.